So now moving along, trying to get so much into the broadcast. Here is my good pal, Reva Solomon. And once again, I think I explained everything about who she is and why I'm talking to her in the clip. All right, well, I'm so very happy to have with me here today Reva Solomon. Now, this woman lives in Los Angeles like me, and we are daily friends, probably.
Daily.
We're daily hello on Facebook people. And but you happen to be in New York today, so I was thrilled to be able to catch you on my little postcards from New York show. Reva is one of those extraordinary people who has had her foot in a million pots in show business for literally decades. You said you began with Merv Griffin.
Merv Griffin.
Tell me how you got started.
I came to LA from Atlanta,
Yeah.
doing theater in Atlanta, and wanted a job. And the only job I could get was being a page, wearing the
Oh, my
polyester
God,
brown
you did that?
uniform, and seated his audience. And from there, I worked for him for 7.5 years.
Really?
And worked on Wheel of Fortune and Jeopardy and all the shows, and then was his research director and worked with all the major jazz people that worked on his show.
Right.
Yeah.
And I actually had the opportunity to become friendly with Reva. Many people who watch my show know Rick Starr. I talk about Rick Starr a lot. He was the manager at Hollywood Sheet Music, and he was a very beloved figure in the cabaret and Broadway musical theater world. And when he passed about 1.5 years, we had a memorial service, and even though we kind of were Facebook friends, we had never really met, and Reva wrote me and said, anything you need help with, I'm happy to do. And then she listed her resume. I've produced this, and I've worked with this major star and this major star, and ran this TV show, and ran this, and she goes, if you need me to just like go pick up some donuts, I'm happy to do it. And so we got together, and she really was, of the hundreds of people that loved Rick, she was one of the people I leaned the most heavily on, and it was a very special bonding experience. And she's in New York for a very, very interesting project. You want to tell us about Hazel?
Right. Well, one of the jobs that I've done for 13 years is work with musical director and musician Ron Abel.
Right.
And
I call him the unicorn.
The
He strikes me as a unicorn for some
the unicorn,
reason.
blonde braid. That's
the
what
blonde
it is.
braid,
Yeah.
right. Amazing musical director.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he, along with 2 other people, have written a musical based on the TV show Hazel, the sitcom, and the
Wonderful.
Yeah. So we came out here to do backers auditions. the
Right,
old
with
backers
Clea
auditions.
Blackhurst playing Hazel.
Starring,
Amazing
and
cast.
You wouldn't believe how fantastic she is.
Yeah. Oh,
you
I
forget
would. I've seen her.
You forget Shirley Booth in 2 seconds.
Right.
And Clea carried the show, and it was an amazing cast.
And Lucy Arnaz directing.
Directed.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And it was great. And so we had 3 days of fabulous people.
Where did you do that?
We did that at, I knew you were going to ask me that, and
Uh-oh.
I'm blanking
edit.
on
We'll
the
insert this
theater.
in.
I'll think of it in a minute. But it was great, and everybody was enthusiastic, and now they're in process of talking money with the people.
Trying
and
to get it to Broadway.
Fingers crossed,
Wow.
in the spring, maybe, Broadway.
Excellent.
Yeah, which is my dream.
I did an interview for my show with Jim CARUSO yesterday,
yeah.
and we were raving about Clea with him
Yes,
too.
yes.
She's amazing.
And Jim's fabulous.
And so, interestingly enough, aside from your work in showbiz, you're also a fine artist.
Well, I'm a new artist,
Really?
and I've only done it for the past 10 years. I didn't know that I was an artist because I thought that meant you had to draw. And I've always been involved with children's books and write a column for the Society of Children's Book Writers and Illustrators for 20 years.
Wow.
And always wanted to illustrate a kid's book. And through that, which I haven't done yet, but I've gotten involved in mixed media, assemblage, and I actually got my first piece in a gallery here in New York while I was here.
exciting.
So I'm very, very excited.
Congratulations.
Yeah,
That's
thank
not
you.
easy to do
Yeah,
in New York,
I
right?
was very, very honored to do that. So,
Wonderful.
yeah.
And I know that you also, I've seen from some of your posts on Facebook that you are into life coaching, that's something you do
Yes.
professionally as well.
Yes, I worked in the entertainment industry in film and television since
Right.
1978.
Right.
And
The gal's got a
I'm
resume.
11, but I worked when I was young. But there was not a lot of work as a freelance person working production, and so at the time coaching was just getting started. I worked my way into it, and I've been doing it for over 15 years.
Yeah.
And all my clients are creative people. I do everything over the phone. So I have clients from all over the world, and I love it.
Fun.
Love it.
And I know you have a lot to share, a lot of information to share, a lot of inspiring to do.
Yes. Well, you know, it's like holding somebody's hand and cheering them on, but giving them those pearls of wisdom that they already know. But sometimes when you hear it from another person, it's, you know,
Right. Makes a difference.
Makes a big difference. Yeah. So.
Well, thank you so much for being part of my postcards from New York.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
It's such a thrill. Reva Solomon.
Thank you.